Shall we please rise for the procession of the Chancellor?
Please let us pray. Almighty God, creator of heaven and earth, we give you praise and honor and thanks for the gift of this bright new day and the gift of our lives. We thank you for bringing us from far and near to this important ceremony. We give you praise, O God, for the lives of these your sons and daughters, whom you have seen through successful education and formation, and for whose graduation we have gathered here. We commend this meeting before you, asking that you guide, direct, and lead us in everything we come in to do here. We are praying for all facilitators and all those who have a role to play, that you guide them and strengthen them. And even as we graduate these students, we pray, O God, that your spirit will rest mightily upon them, so they will go out and serve humanity to the glory of your name. This and many more blessings we ask through Christ Jesus our Lord. Amen.
Please be seated. Good morning to you all, and welcome to one of the most prestigious science and technology universities in the world. This is KNUST. You've gone through several years of academic work, and today we gather to honor you. It's going to be a very great occasion. We ask you to enjoy it as a rose, but please be reminded that it's a solemn occasion, and as such, it should be observed. Nana Chancellor, I respectfully invite you to present your address and constitute the assembly. A round of applause.
Kotokoini kase, krobiaine kasangen. Kotokoini kase, krobiaine kasangen. Mema krobia idifamani kotokungen. Mema krobia idifamani kotokungen. Asante chantrot mo champonu fungen. Asante chantrot mo champonu fungen. Asante sesebo smenditien. Asante sesebo smenditien. Krobia satina dwe kasangen. Krobia satina dwe kasangen. Oseti chemi modi nyewisio. Oseti chemi modi nyewisio. Why nebenya sajuso supenini akabakma sikapobano. Why nebenya sajuso supenini akabakma sikapobano. Obinya sebianko baby. Obinya sebianko baby. I'm not telling you about them lefe kasangen. I'm not telling you about them lefe kasangen. Se one in tough moje nungen. Se one in tough moje nungen. Wonderful daddy mo champon fungen. Wonderful daddy mo champon fungen. Oh soni glorious menitien. Oh soni glorious menitien. Aja kwa jale na dia sa dingen. Aja kwa jale na dia sa dingen. Akusi bia kumblot mo champon fungen. Akusi bia kumblot mo champon fungen. Aja kwa fi se flampo no dam li fe wisi. Aja kwa fi se flampo dam li fe wisi. O say tu mi mo di nwa wisi o. Say tu mi mo di nwa wisi o. Why ne benya sekantin che bo chi dan kwan se wan pim sika poba no. Why ne benya sekantin che bo chi dan kwan se wan pim sika poba no. Obinya sebianko baby. Obinya sebianko baby. Lagwa bakana ne flampo no dam li fe wisi. Lagwa bakana ne flampo dam li fe wisi. O saji fogu nyagwa singen. O saji fogu nyagwa singen. O kwasa tina dwe kasangen. O kwasa tina dwe kasangen. Wo kubedi atopla dem le fa gunye gu asia ojumni achemera. Ye wonu ma ye dwani egungen. Woni baby atabode watch mo chabonu fungen. Woni baby akumi abode adwane wa o.
The Honorable Regional Minister, Minister of State for Tertiary Education, Chairman and members of Council, the Vice Chancellor, Vice Chancellors from sister universities, Pro-Vice Chancellor and Pro-Vice Chancellors from sister universities, former Vice Chancellors and Pro-Vice Chancellors of KNUST present, Registrar and registrars from sister universities, provosts, members of convocation, Nananum alumni of the university, invited guests, members of the press, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. On my own behalf and on behalf of the chairman and members of the University Council and the entire members of staff, I welcome you to the 2018 Special Congregation Ceremony. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Since becoming Chancellor, I have seen the university evolve to run a regular calendar of 2 congregation periods in a year. A June-July congregation that most undergraduates are presented, and a November congregation which focuses primarily on graduate students. Why our November routine had to be rescheduled to this period in February is an issue I will tackle in this address. On occasions such as this, it is within my purview as Chancellor to pick on any issue of significance both to the university and the nation for the attention of government, potential benefactors, and all stakeholders. Thus this morning, my address will be based on 2 broad themes. These are KNUST as a university of the 21st century and matters arising, and KNUST's role in responding positively to the free senior high school policy of government and matters arising. Let me deal with the first theme, that is KNUST as a university of the 21st century and matters arising. Since I became Chancellor of this noble institution during the tenure of the late Professor Kwesi Andam, there have been 3 other Vice-Chancellors, and they will all testify that I have been very engaging and conferring closely with my Chairman of Council and Vice-Chancellors on the state of affairs in the university. I have promoted the welfare of the university and made useful contacts for KNUST in my international travels. I have deliberately hosted programs in this great hall, including the CNN Journalist of the Year, to lift our international pride and profile. When Prince Charles, the Prince of Wales, and his wife, the Duchess of Cornwall, visited in November 2018, KNUST was one of their prominent stops, for which the Prince of Wales Park on campus is a testament. Even though during that time there were crises, I insisted they came here to send the right signal out to the people that the university is still functioning. I also recognize the importance of KNUST as a huge and important jewel in the national crown, and so everything must be done to keep a sparkle. Therefore, we expect all her stakeholders, be they students, alumni, convocation, staff, and parents, to exercise tact, diplomacy, and dialogue in all their engagements. That is why I was particularly pained by the events of October 22nd, 2018, when all hell broke loose on campus and the university had to be closed down to save life and property. I'm sure there's no one associated in any way with the university who has not felt a sense of shame as a result of those events, and while we are all pleased with the smooth return to normalcy, it is essential that we are seen to learn the right lessons from the events. I promised to set up an independent committee to conduct a thorough inquiry into all the circumstances leading to the breakdown of the law and order and determine what lessons we can learn to prevent such occurrences in the future. As I'm sure you are aware, my preoccupation with critical national assignment, delayed action on the probe, coupled with the disruption of the school calendar, there was the need to allow students and academic work to settle before setting up the probe, today's congregation being an example. I'm able now to announce today the appointment of a 3-member committee to be headed by a retired justice of the Supreme Court, Her Ladyship Justice Rososu, to undertake the probe into the events of October 22nd. The committee shall thoroughly investigate the events surrounding the tragedy of October 22nd, and their report should help us to chart a course into a future that will not make us repeat the embarrassing episode. The committee will be independent and will be given the freedom to do their work without any interference whatsoever. I will, in course of next week, advise Council on its inauguration to enable them to start work. But let me assure the university community that for as long as I remain the Chancellor, the act establishing the university and the statutes of the university shall always reign supreme.
Yo. Yo.
Let me state emphatically that universities are run on regulations to make the academic space tolerable for all. Order must be kept and rules followed to allow our 55,000 students have the freedom to operate without intimidation.
Yo.
Lewd male students' behavior in the presence of female students in the name of culture and traditions is not justifiable under any circumstances.
Yo.
Any culture that is not dynamic dies. As the king of Ashantis,
Yo.
it has been my duty since I ascended the golden stool to bring the culture of my forebears into the 21st century.
Yo.
In the history of KNUST, whenever demonstrations have occurred, never have our students turned inwards and destroyed their own property and that of staff of the university.
Yo.
To my alumni, you have an influential seat around the dinner table. If you would harness your energies and time to galvanize financial, intellectual support for your alma mater, as many of you who are well-traveled know, it will inure to the benefit of the university.
Yo.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen,
Yo.
universities are conservative bastions that have survived virtually unchanged since the middle of the 18th century. Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology being no exception at all. They are repositories of the past, present, and the future. Let their tried and tested internal mechanisms work to help resolve conflicts.
Yo.
Without any interference whatsoever from anywhere.
Yo.
By so doing, the university will concentrate on its mandate and deliver on cutting-edge research and innovation reminiscence of a 21st century university to support industrialization of the economy. With gifted and creative lecturers supported by dedicated administrative staff, KNUST must belong to a class of universities with a high impact of excellence in teaching, research, entrepreneurship, and learning.
Yo.
Now let me dwell on my second theme. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen,
Yo.
for those of you who heard my address at the opening of the 52nd congregation in July 2018, should not be surprised as I use large swaths of the statements I made then to congregation to address my second theme.
Yo.
KNUST's role in responding positively to the free senior high school policy and matters arising.
Yo.
The free senior high school policy in all respects is a laudable policy that we as a nation should applaud it. By April-May 2020, the first batch of students under the free senior high school policy will come out, and this will double the number of students seeking enrollment into our tertiary institutions.
Yo.
This is a reality we must confront.
Yo.
The potential increase in enrollment at the tertiary level will require corresponding increase in resources, both financial and human, to be able to cope with the expected increase in student numbers.
Yo.
The time to double our steps in fashioning a response is now. I'm happy government is mobilizing funds through Get Fund to support infrastructural works on various campuses, and KNUST, being the premier science and technology university in the country, must have its fair share of the resources.
Yo.
I'm informed of government's intention to help the university complete 2 key projects. While this is commendable, I believe much more needs to be done. In this regard, resources must be found to complete all infrastructural projects in KNUST and in other universities, including my pet project, the Teaching and Research Hospital on campus.
Yo.
This project began in 2008 with a lot of fanfare, enthusiasm, and with so much promise in the health delivery, particularly for the northern sector of the country,
Yo.
considering the strategic location of Kumasi. Unfortunately, the project has had to come to a standstill due to financial constraints.
Yo.
This concern has been mentioned in several of my previous addresses in this August gathering, and I want to reiterate once again for government assistance to complete the project.
Yo.
I'm also reliably informed that the vice chancellors and registrars of our public universities were sponsored with a government delegation to the United Kingdom to study and deliberate on models of centralized admissions as one of the many steps already taken. But I would caution here that before, Vice Chancellor, before you take decisions, please engage members of convocation to know exactly what it is. I don't want you to take any arbitrary decisions and push it on them. Let them be involved. In ending my address, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to quote the words of our distinguished achievers for those whose cause we are all assembled here, the graduates. There is no straight path from your seat today to where you are going. Don't try to draw that line. You will not just get it wrong, you will miss big opportunities, and I mean big. Careers are not ladders, but jungle gyms. Don't just move up and down. Don't just look up. Look backwards, sideways, around corners. Your career and your life will have starts and stops and zigs and zags. Don't stress out about the white space, the part you can't draw, because therein lies both the surprises and the opportunities. The most important thing in your life is to live your life with integrity and to give in to peer pressure to try to be something that you are not. I encourage you to live your life to the fullest. Be courageous, adventurous, give us a tomorrow more than we deserve. Let me congratulate all of you for the successful completion of your programs in this great institution. You have worked hard to deserve the precious and enviable certificates of this great university. As you go out into the world to work, see whatever you do as service to God and to mankind. And now, by the powers conferred on me as the Chancellor of the University, I formally declare this congregation duly constituted. Thank you, and God bless us.
Lift every voice and sing "To the Earth and Heaven Reigns" begins our university anthem. Shall we please rise to sing? It's on page 126 on your booklet, and then it will be projected on the screens. Please be seated. One of the distinct parts of every congregation of KNUST is the presentation of the address by the Vice-Chancellor. Chancellor, with your permission, I invite the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Kwesi Obri Danso, to address the Assembly.
His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, the Chancellor of this university, Honorable Minister for Tertiary Education, Chairman and members of the Governing Council of the university, Regional Minister, Metropolitan Municipal District Chief Executives, Pro-Vice Chancellor and Pro-Vice Chancellors of sister universities, colleague Vice Chancellors, Registrar and Registrars from our sister universities, Provosts of colleges, Deans and Directors, Heads of Department, Members of Convocation, Nananum, alumni of the university, Senior Engineer staff, Class of 2019, parents and guardians, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to add my voice to that of the Chancellor, Chairman and members of Council, management and staff of this great institution to welcome you warmly to this morning's unique February 2019 congregation. Unique in the sense that, as you all are aware, this ceremony is scheduled to take place in November 2018, but was overtaken by events which are now a painful part of our rich history. However, I believe we're all glad that the academic calendar has been revised and brought back on track, and here we are with this important rite of passage for students who have completed their respective programs. The recent history of this graduation ceremony has tended to focus solely on the award of graduate degrees. However, in response to persistent requests by past and present student leadership to include them in the administration has acquiesced to this request, and this year we have also graduated undergraduate students in line with what is practiced internationally. Yesterday, we graduated 1,268 undergraduate students, and yesterday again and this morning, we'll be graduating a total of 2,461 postgraduate students, making a total of 3,729 graduates for this unique February congregation. Additionally, we're also graduating 38 with PhD. This graduation has two milestones. Yesterday, we were able to graduate 122 top-up Doctor of Pharmacy students who have had their B.Pharm degrees several years ago, and many of them are practicing pharmacists, parents, and a lot of them were fathers and mothers. And I must say that we congratulate them that in spite of their age, they were able to find time to study hard and be able to achieve the honors of now being called doctors in the pharmacy profession. Second, also, we have, for the first time, acknowledged the hard work of our lecturers who have helped shape minds and hearts and soul of 38 PhD students, and therefore, as we call out their names at this ceremony, we'll also be projecting their names, their faces, their supervisors' names, and the titles they worked on for their PhD. 38, Ayiko. I must also remind members that we graduated 51 in July last year, which means that we're always hovering between 90 and 100 PhD students every year from this university. Out of the 3,000 plus students that we are graduating this year, 316 are from the College of Art and the Built Environment, 145 from the Agriculture and Natural Resources, 192 from Engineering, 437 from Health Sciences, 841 from Humanities and Social Sciences, 250 from Science, and 2,387 from the Institute of Distance Learning. Now, Chancellor, Ministers, permit me to cast my mind back to a period I was not born but heard so much about. That is the dawn of university education. In 1948, University of Ghana was established, 51 KNUST, 61 Cape Coast. At the time, the country had money. The population was small, and the government could afford funding free university education. And even I remember in our days, we were having 3 square meals, not to talk about snacks in between. Fast forward to the 1970s, the difficulties in funding started because we had increased in population and we had a number of economic challenges, some of which we continue to grapple with up to date. And this made university expansion as well as funding for free very difficult. But in spite of all the economic challenges, Ghana now has 11 public universities, going on to 13 with the Y and Abrogo campuses coming on stream, to talk about the many private ones that are supporting university education. In the light of this, I think that the government has taken the right decision that will enable all the youth of this country to earn education. And that is why the government drive to make colleges of education degree awarding is a right one. I'm sure that in the near future, nursing colleges may be next, because in the last 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, KNUST graduated 10,973 nursing diplomas. And this was all done by KNUST, meaning that we are in a unique position to be able to help every institution become degree awarding. Not to talk about all the polytechnics that are also now universities, which means that government's target is now to make sure that every single youth of this country will have a university degree as a basic qualification for the job market. And for me, this is laudable. Now, Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, I also want to plead with government to consider that whereas the USA has its Harvards, MITs, Yales, England with her Oxford, Cambridge, France with Sorbonne, concrete steps must be taken to keep and fund our own local Yales and MITs. And these will be the large, well-grounded research universities such as KNUST to serve as a model and a beacon for younger universities amidst all the expansion, so that we will also focus on graduate studies and research, while at the same time we help to nurture the young ones to become as big as ours. We do not need a prophet to tell us that KNUST has served this university and Ghana very well, because virtually all the scientists, all the engineers, architects, pharmacists, planners, quantity surveyors, and other professionals have all gone through KNUST, and they have been the beacon of development of this country. And therefore, we are asking for equity in the sharing of government resources and not equality. Nana Chancellor, for the 2018-2019 academic year, KNUST alone increased university student population from the 44,000 to now 55,000. And we stand ready to do more. But it means that government must help us employ all the young blood PhD students who are now graduating, so that they can help us, the older ones, to be able to fulfill the mandate of teaching. Secondly, there's the interesting side of people in Legon being asked to retire at the age of 65 because Auditor General says they cannot be accommodated on government payroll. I must say that we must commend the President for taking special personal interest in making sure that this doesn't happen. The worry is that if you take Legon Medical School, for example, over 70% of the key lecturers who make it possible for us to have medical graduates are all over the age of 65. It's an aging population. In those days, it wasn't good to be a lecturer. Now, it is not bad. And I encourage as many of you who can have a PhD to join the bandwagon. Again, we need to be able to expand network facilities so that we can also be able to expand e-learning through our distance learning platform. Again, like the Chancellor said, our teaching hospital is key to all this because it is something that we need to be able to finish in order to double or triple medical student numbers for the good of this country. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the area of research and innovation, the university has made some giant strides. Following the successful implementation of the African Centers of Excellence 1, the government of Ghana, World Bank, put out another call for proposals for ACE 2, and KNUST was able to put out a good proposal that has earned us a whopping $24 million for our centers of excellence. And we got one for regional transport research, which is going to be led by Professor Yao Edubo 424 and Dr. Charles Adams. A second one in regional water and environmental sanitation to be led by Professor Ni Udai. And we also got up some top money for capacity building led by the Provost, Professor Adam Asamoah. Again, Professor Ellis Owusu-Dabo received 5 million euros from the EU to study the effect of novel typhoid conjugate vaccine in Africa, a multi-center study for Ghana and the DR Congo. Yao Emmanuel Edubofor received 215,000 British pounds from Queen Mary University to study improving asthma outcomes in African children. Professor J.T. Bugri received $230,000 from German government to study strengthening advisory capacity for land governance in Africa. Professor Kwesi Obri-Danso was not only Vice Chancellor, but together with Linda Ofori and colleagues from Germany, has also received 1,159,000 euros to study genetic adaptation of typhoidal salmonella within human and animal reservoirs. And Professor Alex Dodu, Deborah, and Professor Kim, with colleagues from Germany, also received 307,000 euros from the German government to study effects of immune mediation on HIV patients. Congratulations to you all. For those that I could not mention, it is because your money was not above 200. My students, as usual, continue to soar. The debate team of KNUST made history as they emerged overall winners of the 2018 Pan-African University Debate Championship held in the University of Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Mr. Isaac Boachi Nyameche and Mr. Erasmus Segwefia, who represented the university, beat off stiff competition from 160 debaters from 49 top African universities who participated. They included universities from Botswana, South Africa, Nigeria, Cameroon, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, Uganda, and the host, Tanzania. The team proved too strong for their competitors, and as they presented intriguing points to the notion, this house regrets the notion of Pan-Africanism. KNUST thus becomes the first university in sub-Saharan Africa to win this competition. Nana Chancellor, I must add that for the past 10 years, all the SRC presidents have been members of the debating society, which means that's a good nurturing grounds if you want to be an SRC president and probably a minister of state in the future. This university was also privileged in the course of 2018 to receive some important visitors to our university, included our own Chancellor, His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei-Tutu Asante-Hene, His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, and wife Camilla, who even commissioned a Prince of Wales Park by Kessie, our Chancellor, who asked that we should name that park after the Prince of Wales. The Chinese ambassador, His Excellency Shi Tangwang, who also described KNUST as the most beautiful university campus in Africa. Nana Chancellor, we also had Dr. KK Sapon visiting us, the GMPC CEO, and he led a 5-member delegation to sign an MOU that will guide the establishment of a $1 million chair in petroleum. And I must say that yesterday's ceremony, they presented this university with 250,000 check. And we're grateful to the chairman who received this on behalf of the chancellor. And this morning I brought the check so that our chancellor will see that indeed the money has been delivered, because he asked them to bring the money as soon as possible because the talking was too much. Professor Kwesi Yanka, also Minister for State of Tertiary, also visited us to also wish us well. Nana, I'm certain we also had a visit from MasterCard Foundation CEO, Rita Roy, and he was here twice in the year 2018 with a whole board of directors. And I'm sure, Nana, it was your immaculate hosting capabilities that made them to come back and back again. Because they were here in May 2018 and again in October 2018. And we must say we are always grateful to MasterCard because they have donated $20 million to this university to fund the training of 700 of our students. We are talking to them, and what is coming out is that in the coming years, if they want to increase their funding to this university, but this time around, they are asking that the beneficiaries should be 70% women. So this university is not wrong in recognizing women and making sure that they are well protected. I wish to also acknowledge the donation of 300 bags of cement by CMAF, a Moroccan cement company, to the College of Art and Built Environment to help them complete their 6-story building. Grad ones, graduation is always an emotional time. Some cry, some weep, and some break down. Especially when you look back on where you were before this day. Some never expected to be sitting here this morning to receive the bigger things in life. But as you look at your colleagues around you, parents, guardians, family, wife, children, girlfriends, boyfriends, you are always grateful for their love and support. Again, Nana Chancellor, of the 38 who are graduating this morning with PhD, we have quite a number of our own faculty amongst them. I'm proud of you all. You always give us reason to continue to push on. I can see Cosmos, and I even have Kwame Dinkra even graduating with a master's degree. And I think he needs a part because people think he's just on radio making noise. And if you remember, Kwame Sefa-Kain also took a master's degree from Kofi Annan Center a few months back. They are all studying. and therefore the need for everybody to join. I wish to congratulate you all for sustaining the learning momentum together with all your professional duties at your places of work, as well as, in addition, your matrimonial and family problems that you have. But as you graduate today, I need not remind you that we are in a world highly influenced by modern knowledge and information. And therefore, devote yourself to the cause of our mother Ghana and make sure that you can help us to develop it even better. With the presence of our Alumni Association Executives Global President, he's also here, I need to remind you that you need to join KNUST Alumni Association and be positive with your engagement with this university, because that is the only way that we can together develop our great institution. I also want to say that it is always a great opportunity to have you around engaging with us to be able to advance the cause of this university. Finally, to you graduates, I pray success into the life of each one of you. Any venture you enter into or pursue will be successful. You will be blessed in the city, blessed in the country. Be blessed when you come in and when you go out. The Lord will grant that the enemies who rise up against you will be defeated before you. They will come in one direction, flee in 7 directions. The Lord will grant you abundant prosperity. And as we are in the month of love, I wish everybody abundant love. Thank you very much.
The push KNUST is giving to women is not just in words. In fact, it has led to the university producing its first female pro-vice chancellor. And with the permission of the chancellor at the appropriate time, I will introduce her. Thank you very much, Ejaku Onimo. On such glorious occasions, the university invites a distinguished personality to address the assembly. Nana Chancellor, with your permission, I invite the Minister of State in charge of tertiary education, Professor Kwesi Yanka, to address us.
The Chancellor, Your Royal Majesty, Otumfuo Setutu II Asantehene, Chairman and members of the Governing Council of KNUST, the Vice Chancellor, Vice Chancellors and Rectors of sister universities, Pro-VC, Deans, Directors, Heads of Department, Registrars and officials of sister universities, members of the KNUST Convocation, Honorable Regional Minister, Honorable Ministers of State present, Honorable Members of Parliament present, the alumni of KNUST, Nananum Ejaku Onimo, my very good friend, distinguished invited guests, graduating class, proud parents and guardians, ladies and gentlemen. Invitations to celebrate good news, such as today's graduation ceremony, are always appreciated and cannot be missed. Good news often has many friends, and that's why I felt elated by the invitation to join you here today to celebrate the achievements of graduating students from KNUST. The feeling, however, was different sometime in November 2018, when I received an invitation somewhat to visit KNUST, to experience another type of spectacle, the splendid one before me today, a university partly reduced to a rubble of smashed and broken property, heaps of debris, scattered fragments of precious objects, dented property, dented hopes, desolate faces of curious onlookers, a campus otherwise populated by thousands of students, this time emptied out at a prime time in university life. KNUST shattered by the ugly hand of man. The scene is more refreshing today, and I can now firmly accept the normal salutations and say how honored I feel to be part of this graduation ceremony. This is indeed my second visit to Kumasi in the past 2 weeks, the most recent one being to Kumasi Technical University. And as I always say, when my flight touches down here in Kumasi, I would normally say Kumasi indeed a home to the Yanka family, and I dare say a home to all peace-loving guests. For the Yanka family in particular, the very lasting legacy of our brother Kojo left in his trail when he was here as regional minister makes us all proud, coming all the way from the central region to virtually tie the tip of his cloth to that of Otumfuo and the people of this great region to propel the wheels of development. That bond of friendship is one we all cherish, and in the comfort of which we all cuddle like pampered babies. in the shadow of our big brother, we thus step on the threshold of Ashanti, chest out, with pride. It is said the small mudfish is arrogant because it lives in a big river. But the joy of homecoming is further heightened if the mission is that of science and technology. For you are home to the hub of technology and professionalism, small to medium-scale industry in Ghana, skills development, a bubbly springboard of hospitality, both traditional and entrepreneurial, purposeful energy channeled through multi-skills development. That is Ashanti for you. From the clang of the hammer at Swami magazine to the technology of intricate weaving and bobbing and tossing of the yarn to produce that splendid artifact that now represents the Pan-African world, to the journey from ancient to modern metallurgy that brings you to the golden shores of Ashanti, the almost waning specter of Ashanti gold, whose rich luster has rebounded in the belly of Obuasi. Thanks to the formidable alliance between our indefatigable President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the venerable Otumfuo, a Solomon to the highest order. Otikokoswo, bestriding the modernized traditional empire like a colossus. No wonder, Nana, you extended a hand of support to Ghana's prime University of Technology, KNUST, spurred on by the need to infuse modern education with traditional wit and wisdom. One thing, however, stands out of all this: the capacity of a university which only yesterday was at the brink of a precipice, a rolling ball of fire and brimstone, all at the verge of terminating the seeds of Ghana's technology, and the capacity of a university to rise to the occasion, speedily transforming an imminent disaster into an opportunity for self-renewal. This is phenomenal. KNUST may have learned its lessons from last October's stormy weather, the wanton destruction of property by marauding students and associates, and the threat to life and limb that resulted in government's swift intervention to secure the realm and eventually restore order. If the events were heartbreaking, a return to normalcy marked by a quick succession of graduation ceremonies signaled an institution's resilience and its resolve to put the unfortunate past behind it and table an agenda for self-renewal and self-correction. The Chancellor, thank you most sincerely for holding hands with the President to restore peace to KNUST. And let's all work together to make this an enduring peace, and let KNUST, under the guidance of the Chancellor and the reconstituted Governing Council, sustain the tranquility and reclaim its niche as a safe haven most conducive to productive academic work. But even as we reflect on recent events, let me quickly say that we at the Ministry of Education have found it fit to convene in June this year a National University Alumni Summit, where stakeholders will undertake a critical appraisal of the role of alumni in tertiary education. The summit, perhaps the first ever to assume the dimension, will bring together various generations of university administrators, students, and alumni for an open and frank dialogue on recent campus events and submit proposals towards leveraging the huge alumni resource potential from universities to revitalize the university education. And I mention this also to remind us all that much as any graduation ceremony of this sort marks the end of one chapter, it also marks the genesis of another journey, a journey into the real world, where you are now in a position to dispassionately reflect on the linkages between the past and the present, and how perspectives of alumni, hindsight, and energies can be utilized to impact positively on the quality of university education. Let me now concentrate on the splendid spectacle before me this morning, the hundreds of richly clad young men and women in academic regalia waiting patiently for a high university official to step forward and declare them graduated. Such periods of transition and rites of passage are also moments of anxiety. for they are loaded with history and reminiscences about the marathon journey from matriculation to graduation. The slopes, the cliffs, the valleys, the Red Seas to cross, but also the rod of Moses that paved the way for the triumphant arrival in Canaan. That is indeed what the joy of graduation is all about, the process of having been completely transformed from the time of arrival within these walls to the point of departure. Being a graduate must make one feel good. Being a graduate itself may not make you the richest man in the neighborhood, but there's an intangible feel of goodness from expanded knowledge that could make you bloat and feel even an inch taller. Of course, I'm aware that many of you are not necessarily new graduates. You have been graduate students moving in and out of work in search of higher degrees. To you, therefore, the euphoria of being a fresh graduate may have worn off. Even so, the status of being a graduate or postgraduate may be new. The dignity conferred and the privileges attracted by being simply a graduate cannot be easily mistaken. But it goes beyond that. You have the privilege of crossing rivers that are impassable without degrees and appropriate academic qualifications. Being a graduate gives access to stepping stones and gives one unlimited opportunities. As graduate students who have finished the master's program or postgraduate diploma courses, the feeling is even greater. You've gone beyond academic bachelorhood to call yourself a master of this and that. It simply means your status as an apprentice is over. With a master's degree, you are now a master unto yourself, licensed to enlist and train other apprentices, training apprentices to maturity and independence. Your own master, the university, has declared you qualified to train others. With a master's degree, you are a master in the intellectual trade. If you are an MBA, it means you are in control of knowledge over a certain aspect of business research, business curriculum, and administration of programming. Above all, you haven't been through graduate school. It's a certification that you are now mature and presumed to be capable of independent thinking. You have weaned yourself off dependency. You are now an independent thinker and can draw on your own conclusions on the basis of independent research. Indeed, in parts of the Western world, the distinctive mark of a university within the tertiary education system is not simply the degree it confers, but rather the existence of a graduate school or graduate programs. Universities in the US are distinguished from university colleges in that they train students beyond the bachelor's. Universities mount master's programs and train faculty and students in research undertakings. And some gradually may move on to become research universities if the graduate student population exceeds 40%, as has been done at the University of Ibadan, where more than 40% of the student population are graduate students, and undergraduates are gradually becoming a minority. Orientation to research is key in the graduate school, for doing research is supreme. But why research? Holders of doctoral degrees are of prime importance in the political economy, for postgraduate training has been considered as one of the key performance indicators in economic development. These include postgraduate enrollment, proportion of academic staff with doctorate degrees, research funding per academic, etc., whereas output indicators in development include doctoral candidates and publications in recognized journals. But the doctoral degree, considered a terminal degree, is an undertaking that comes along with it intellectual rigor and attainments that often take the best out of the candidate in the art of creating new knowledge. It is not surprising that students graduating with a doctoral degree are given a special recognition during graduation in all universities across the world. At a graduation ceremony, the highest authority within the university or a representative goes beyond a verbal declaration. The recipient as a mark of having attained the highest academic degree, is publicly robed or vested with a distinctive insignia. The difference in the vestment worn, of course, is meant to signal the graduate's standing within an academic hierarchy, from diploma to bachelor's degree to master's degree to the ultimate, which is the doctorate. The degree, Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, marks one's formal acceptance as an authority in knowledge construction and the art of logical reasoning within a specific discipline. It is often marked by, among other things, a research-based intellectual output in the form of a dissertation or thesis of the candidate's authorship, which has been assessed as distinguished contribution to knowledge. For this, the graduate and candidate is given an authorized authentic certificate bearing the seal or mark of the institution. But graduate training has been a distinguishing mark for universities the world over, since the construction of knowledge and the quality of research moved several notches up. Similarly, the student is not simply a student anymore. He is expected to be good himself to create knowledge and impart this knowledge created to the young ones. Graduate work indeed takes you to the threshold of being your own man or woman. And when you accomplish graduate work, depending on your level of attainment, the period of apprenticeship is over, and you are preparing to take off as a master craftsman, seeking to impart knowledge to others. Orientation to research is key in the graduate school, for doing research is supreme. But why research? Research is key in renewing the content of curriculum across all levels of education. New knowledge and innovation help to inject new life into teaching and learning. At the tertiary level of education, the more new knowledge we introduce to students, the more we get students to be more and more inclined towards research, independent thinking, and the urge to cultivate originality and intellectual creativity. As a country, as a continent, Africa is simply fed up being stereotyped as perpetually hooked to quaint and outworn knowledge, indeed as institutionalizing the recycling of obsolete imported ideas, even if these are of no relevance to our local circumstances. The passion for research and critical analysis naturally has a significant impact on the quality of a nation's development. The passion for evidence-based analysis deepens, so is the appetite for data at the basis for planning. I said this to lament the relative paucity of reliable data in almost every department of life in African countries, giving one a sense that we sometimes even do our planning for development virtually on the basis of conjecture. We decide people's health and health status on the basis of guesswork. And we could even plan the future of education on the basis of inaccurate statistics. We indeed ran our nation suddenly into a ditch simply because there was no data or dashboard, antenna or compass to tell us we are moving towards a deep trench. Happily, here comes our cohort of graduate students graduating today to change the game. Here you come to tell the world we can add value to the nation's sense of planning, our nation's agenda for development. And where planning in the 20th century was fed on empty data, here we come with tools that can change the destiny of this country, the destiny of Africa. But graduate work is also the cornerstone by which an academic institution renews itself and builds its own capacity to replace aging faculty and staff. I refer to the distinctive significance of doctorate degrees as a major tool by which aging faculty may be replaced in universities. The ongoing debate about aging and retiring faculty in universities is also a statement on the capacity of graduate schools to expedite the production of doctoral degree holders to replace retiring faculty. Indeed, not only should universities step up the production of doctoral degree holders, we should make a conscious effort to produce terminal degree holders who are below the age of 30. That way, they have the opportunity to themselves disseminate or even further interrogate the knowledge they have produced long before they retire. The current trend of obtaining a PhD at a very advanced age should give way to doctoral degree attainment in a modern society at a prime age. This should be considerably facilitated by educational reforms which abolished the O and A levels long ago and drastically reduced the average age of entering a university from 21 in yesteryear to 17, roughly. They should be followed by structural reforms in all graduate schools, including accelerated doctoral programs where smart final year undergraduate students are earmarked and soon put on an accelerated doctoral program, as is done in several countries. The KNUST itself has experienced such reforms and should maintain the momentum and speed up doctoral training. Graduate training should indeed be expedited in the area of science and technology, where Ghana's future lies and where there's considerable deficit. Happily, there is a golden opportunity around the corner. The year 2020 unleashes an avalanche of graduates from the free senior high school policy. An extra 50,000 students will be knocking on the doors of tertiary institutions. The excess numbers indeed provide opportunities for the nation to realign its wavering commitment to the vision of 60-40 science humanities enrollment ratio in universities. Instead of heading towards the ideal ratio, our universities in general currently have on record a dismal ratio of enrollment, which is 37 in the sciences, 63 in the humanities. Of course, KNUST can be proud of its achievement in not significantly drifting towards the humanities. In spite of considerable addition of humanities and social science programs, KNUST still maintains an upward of 60% enrollment in science and technology. Generally, the huge influx of students next year provides an opportunity to populate science, technology, and technical universities with the right caliber of science and skills-oriented students. But it also provides a commensurate opportunity on the part of universities to build enough faculty capacity to cope with the expected rise in student numbers. For it is not the agenda of this government to sacrifice quality for sheer student numbers in universities. The right student-lecturer ratio should be upheld at all times if we should maintain the high-quality human resource base we so desire to make this country a technological hub. At the level of infrastructure, I am happy about the giant strides that KNUST has made, expanding academic infrastructure in both the humanities and scientific disciplines in preparation for the unusual influx of students next year. But there are further opportunities that rub off on the drive to boost enrollment in technology, skills, and vocational development. I refer to the centralized admission system to be introduced for university admissions, which should generally remove stress and administrative obstacles and instead facilitate and expand access to university education. First, let me make a further clarification and assuage fears that this new system seeks to take over admissions from universities. Far from that. The system only centralizes the application process. It does not usurp from universities the process of admission itself. Universities still do the admissions, ensuring compliance with their own cutoff points within the context of a specified minimum admission requirements established by the NCTE. What is centralized is the application process. This issue becomes clearer in a few weeks when the committee fleshing out the policy comes out with fuller details. Secondly, the system enhances the likelihood of boosting enrollment in the sciences and technical education, and thereby helping the nation to inch towards the ideal ratio of 60-40 science humanities. To the graduating students, let me emphasize how lucky you are graduating from the four walls of this dynamic university. For very few people, pause to determine and assess the distance between matriculation and graduation. Very few people pause and ask what percentage of students who joyfully matriculate also joyfully graduate. Very few people ask what happened to my roommate or what happened to that colleague in our study group. I have not seen him or her this year. You may call it a silent rate of attrition in universities and other tertiary institutions, which is more pronounced in the graduate school. The marathon from matriculation to graduation has never been smooth sailing for a good percentage of students. And like all long-distance or cross-country events, many parade themselves as athletes and even get congratulated at the starting line, yet do not complete the race or do so with nobody applauding. Many matriculate, but seldom graduate. Those that do not graduate possibly trickle in when the race is over and all the spectators are gone. Happily, a well-run race is over today, and I can empathize with proud parents and relations who have come from far and near to share this joyous occasion with their awards. The early morning stress and sweat in unrelenting vehicular traffic in Kumasi could be frustrating and could have found many of you retracing your steps back home. But I know parents love their kids. To parents and relations here this morning, you have demonstrated that no rocky terrains, no hurdles, no traffic can stand between you and this ceremony that marks the graduation of your wards. And I congratulate you all. Finally, to graduating students, for you who work diligently, spending sleepless nights to study, burning the proverbial midnight candle, looking forward to a graduation like this, I wish to congratulate you. You are certainly going to add up to the population of skilled manpower that this nation needs for social and economic development. To this graduating class, I wish to congratulate you all once more for having successfully completed your programs of study. Ghana has made a great investment in your education, and the country will expect a lot from you in return. And I trust that wherever you find yourselves, you will strive to pursue honesty, sincerity, hard work, commitment, determination, and dedication. Ideals that will make you successful in life and make this university and Ghana proud of you. Thank you very much.
A louder round of applause to our Minister of State. To the students, the next item is the most important, and that is the presentation of graduates from the School of Graduate Studies for the award of respective degrees. With the permission of Chancellor, I invite the Registrar of KNUST, Mr. Andrew Kwesi Boateng, to initiate the conferment proceedings.
Nana Chancellor, with your permission, I call on the Dean of the School of Graduate Studies to present the candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the award of degrees to be admitted to the said degrees.
Will the graduating candidates of the School of Graduate Studies please stand and remain standing? Chancellor, I have the honor and privilege to present to you graduates of the School of Graduate Studies herein present and those unavoidably absent, for whom I stand proxy, all of who have satisfied the requirements for the award of postgraduate degree to be admitted to the said degree.
By the powers conferred on me as the Chancellor of the University, I, Otumfo Oseitutu II Asantehene, formally admit you to the respective postgraduate degrees of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Kumasi, School of Graduate Studies, Aiko.
Please sit. Now, Chancellor, we start with the doctorate degrees. College of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Faculty of Agriculture, Doctor of Philosophy, Plant Breeding, Afo Nusrat Sema. Doctor of Philosophy, Soil Science, Osei Ophelia. Doctor of Philosophy, Post-Harvest Technology, Sugri Isa. Doctor of Philosophy, Agroforestry, Menu Anthony Augustus. Tete Erasmus Nate. Doctor of Philosophy, Aquaculture and Environment, Mensa Emmanuel Tetedoku. College of Art and Built Environment, Faculty of Art, Doctor of Philosophy, African Art and Culture, Adum Dixon. Doctor of Philosophy, Art Education, Bedu Mohammed Kweku. Doctor of Philosophy, Land Management, Tuzi Eric Paul. Doctor of Philosophy, Development Studies, Obin Sapon Charles. College of Engineering, Faculty of Civil and Geoengineering. Doctor of Philosophy, Environmental Sanitation and Waste Management, Suleimana Al-Hassan. Doctor of Philosophy, Water Resources Engineering, Ahmed Sani Dauda. Doctor of Philosophy, Geomatic Engineering, Asante Cosmos Yao. Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Engineering, Atabuatin George. Doctor of Philosophy, Soil and Water Engineering, Nyatuame Mehose. College of Health Sciences, Faculty of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, Doctor of Philosophy, Pharmaceutical Chemistry, Amengo Cedric Jido Kujo. Doctor of Philosophy, Pharmacognosy, Mbacho Valentin Ohi. Doctor of Philosophy, Pharmacology, Antwi Aaron Opoku. Doctor of Philosophy, Clinical Pharmacy, Ralph Audu. Doctor of Philosophy, Community Health, Boatin Kofi Seche. Mohammed Aliyu. Doctor of Philosophy, Chemical Pathology, Deborah Oskana. Osei Asibe. Doctor of Philosophy, Immunology, Adu Jesse Dennis. Owusu Dorcas Ohui. Doctor of Philosophy, Public Health, Apia Brimpon Emmanuel. College of Humanities and Social Sciences, Faculty of Social Sciences, Doctor of Philosophy, Geography and Rural Development, Abbas Kabila. Doctor of Philosophy, Religious Studies, Antwi Joseph Kofi. College of Science, Faculty of Biosciences, Doctor of Philosophy, Biological Sciences, Abubakari Amina. Doctor of Philosophy, Food Science and Technology, Jame Clement Kojo Komu. Komlaga Gregory Afra. Oreku Asari Mavis. Doctor of Philosophy, Chemistry, Oyelodu Emmanuel Okajide. Doctor of Philosophy, Geophysics, Ahulu Silvanus Tete. Doctor of Philosophy, Meteorology and Climate Science, Ayi Jeffrey Niama. Atia Winifred Ayimpo Bila.
Thank you, Nana Chancellor. College of Art and Built Environment, Faculty of Art, Master of Communication Design, Asare Bediako Derek, Hagan Ba Samuel, Master of Philosophy, Communication Design, Adinkra Luther King, Amwatin Bismarck Sabin, Anani Priest Woyram, Buchak Robert Bukansang, Checha Emmanuel Winston, We Know Michael, Ochri Labi Mike, Upoku Nicholas, Sifa Boachi Michael, Tei Na Nene, Vanderpoy Patience, Master of Philosophy, African Art and Culture, Akumia Ronit, Apre Ifria Benedicta, Kona Connor John Jr., Prempe Mary Magdalene, Master of Philosophy, Art Education, Edu Efriye Grace, Abosu Bright Senanu, Ajimai Gideon Kwekudua, Al-Hassan Hamza, Amiyao Upoku Meno, Esima Shine Ajo, Bawa Al-Hassan, Boache Kweku, Defo Benjamin, Jaco Kwejofusu, Gamor Sufaya Emerald Emefa, Ibrahim Hajia Fatimatu, Isa Mohammed Saini, Johnson Esi Eduafua, Lamte Cynthia Na Lamle, Madakina Andrews Kweku Teda, Mohamed Husseini, Nabank Macarius, Inkansa Abigail, Otabel Francis Apia, Sakwalia Dam Kenneth, Yuafe Roda. Master of Fine Art, Textile Design, Anochi David, Upoku Josephine, Master of Philosophy, Integrated Art, Bamboo and Rattan Technology, Bafu Boatin. Master of Fine Art, Painting and Sculpture, Ajare Asante Kwame, Ad Aqua Lois Selassie, Biokro Geoffrey Apene, Bracon Kusi Michael, Baxton Edward, Gadiko Makafui, Kuje Selom Kofi, Mensa Ebenezer Fifi, Moro Samiratu Abdullahi, Oklu Teti Mavis. Master of Fine Art, Painting, Che Yao Brobe, Mensa Silas. Master of Fine Art, Sculpture, Bosuaku Anchi, Ofori Nicholas. Faculty of Built Environment. Master of Architecture, Abubakari Yakubu, Adai Josiah, Adiali Philemon Chamdapari, Ajay Prince Osei, Ajitefiu Harold, Ajejilon Rubin Daliwe, Ajekum Kodia Sylvester, Ajimai Prempe Efia Ampoma, Edu Paako, Akor Kojo Ata, Amponsafo Jolinda, Anama Mensa Josiah Badu, Enim Aaron Amponsa, Asare Efia Sapon, Asmeni Eko, Biante Jude Nati, Wampon Nana Ufuri Eric, Boyle Ibifubara, Kujo Benjamin Gilbert, Jigbedi Godwin Edem, Fiano Karen Awunam, Fiati Selom Abla Maria, Forsin Nana Ahima, Usunokwe Janet Ami, Isaac Abdul Raf, Kunadu Kofi Isaiah, Kusi Samson, Mustafa Hakim, Naina Stephen Tariq, Noah Mesik Daniel Kujo, Longo Elizabeth Nana Ya Iram, Wafor Orizu Indomwa Diamond, Nyame Dixon Teria, Nyagbe Dennis Maunyo, Ufosu Jeffrey Kwame Ufori, Ohimin Manu Aaron, Upukwia Linda, Osei Bonsu Kwejo Abuaje, Osei Puku Ernest, Osei Safu Nana Kisiwa, Oyedele Oluwa Bukumi Abiola, Sechi Eje Veronica, Sakodie Derek Mensa, Taki Otu Ni Utinkran, Redu Kelvin Ufori. Master of Philosophy, Architectural Studies, Ajekum Sa Joanna, Dan Ubu Bu Iderima Goodluck, Nete Fidelia. Master of Science, Architecture, Sepa Divine Nutifafa. Master of Philosophy, Construction Management, Antwi Aferi Nyamiche Emmanuel. Nusito Jacob Jimmy. Master of Science, Construction Management, Adai Francis, Ajay Berima James, Adu Ejekum Joseph, Adu Entry Patrick, Adu Mensa Daniel, Akins Daniel, Amuna Jerry John, Avonu Senyo Michael, Azu Jeffrey Akute, Bando Bafo, Boate Noel Frederick, Brimpong Amelo Hetty, Kujo Charles, Dansu David Selom, Ejri Emmanuel, Ejri Samuel Yao, Ishen Danyame Benjamin, Fuji Kwame Frank, Kunedu Noble, Kusi Rosemont, Inkum Justice Godsent, Ufosu Eric Frimpong, Osei Bonsu Emmanuel, Tete Jacob, Chaku Mary Maufemo, Yunus Umar Farouk. Master of Science, Procurement Management. Ahato Senam Rebecca. Ansa Kweku Benjamin. Entry Osei Winston. Apia Abigail. Asiedu Amankwa. Aulo Raphael Prince. Benson Hannah. Damali Godwin Palace. Jokutu Fred. Dia Afia Echampoma. Mensa Rahel Sefako. Odum Joseph Joaquin. Osei Asibenana. Kwashe Mary Afi. Sanaki Kafui Afi. Master of Science, Land Governance and Policy. Edu Bonsu Matilda. Edu Jemfi Gloria. Azindo Womboribi Victor. Azupugo Ubanus Widaba. Ma Kwesi. Fuseini Faizatu. Kobie Gabriel Sonibari. Upoku Efriye Abigail. Master of Philosophy, Development Studies, Agri Vincent, Entry Kwame Benjamin, Atanga Esther, Usu Nana Kweju. Master of Philosophy, Planning, Memba Jennifer Dr. Bila. Master of Philosophy, Urban Management Studies, Lamino Moshi Diane. Master of Science, Development Planning and Management, Abrifa Michael Kufi, Adams Aisha, Balar Bright Moses, Dano Josephine, Deme Gloria, Dito Thomas Yao, Kusi Dabla Benjamin, Mausi Felix Abweko, Techi Manson Eunice, Master of Science, Development Policy and Planning, Abdul Aziz Nashrahi, Abubakar Al-Hassan, Ajiman Jones, Ajimendria Williams, Emiao Vincent Ben, Amidu Wasiu Alabi, Amwa Edward Kojo, Boatin Mensa Kwabna, Dapa Stephen Luke, Kunedu Oware Ajua, Kubag Godfrey, Kwachi Samuel, Modigli Delali Kofi, Nap Sopal Anon Alfonsi, Obin Dapa Derek, Ousu Dennis, Vaji Daniel, Yakubu Bilali, College of Science, Faculty of Biosciences, Master of Philosophy, Biochemistry, Abubakar Zakaria, Agwenyega Sifako, Sapon Francesca Nana, Master of Philosophy, Biotechnology, Adu Echampon Samuel, Master of Science, Biotechnology, Echa Mariam Efriye, Adakwa Iadom Kwame. Master of Philosophy, Forensic Science, Adakwa Kwabna Esiedu, Bentel Edward. Master of Science, Forensic Science, Nkrumah Kafui. Master of Philosophy, Human Nutrition and Dietetics, Abukar Muhammad Hashim, Essien Miriam, Ga Patience Kairi, JB Barbara Ifua Echan, Hefron Elsie Nana Abba Abiu, Idrisu Sherifa, Kalok Libienu Sole Gabriel, Mohammed Hadi Tuku, Obuo Patience, Ohini Obin Mami Ya Carl, Peter Joy Eze. Master of Science, Human Nutrition and Dietetics, Entry Kwame, Entry Boateng, Jocelyn Echan, Takra Meredankwa, Wama George, Wampong Usu Lydia, Jajito Justine Sichofi, Frimpong Victor, Isaka Jimaima, Chei Akumia, Ochre Joseph, Sebe Modford. Master of Philosophy, Food Science and Technology, Achrekon Yao Jeu. Master of Science, Food Science and Technology, Deha Christabel Irene. Master of Science, Food Quality Management, Abankwa Belinda, Abi Catherine Dede, Abdu Samad Pfizer, Adu Bwedu Collins, Adote Jessica, Agalik Francisca Akabukali, Agar Dorinda Apene, Amamu Equia Florence, Epia Anita Ampofuwa, Ata Christine Nana Bintuma, Asafwe J. Gloria Ejua, Sante Jaffet, Bansa Stanley, Bisil Gabriel Anobil, Bonsu Brian, Davis Shelley Gloria, Dejo Christian Kwashiga, Jel Doreen Efi, Homeno Yvonne Akofa, Comson Blessed, Safu Ya Jemfua, Tete Luke Pa Mensa, Texin Cynthia Ako, Yeboa Ajua. Master of Philosophy, Animal and Plant Physiology, Nyako Ruby Ama. Master of Philosophy, Environmental Science, Akuti Jerry John Amasendi, Asari Clement, Blanksin Anastasia Comfort, Brown Patrick Ni Odoi, Musa Isifu, Nyama Kwabna, Yuafe Esther Akun. Master of Philosophy, Microbiology, Yemo Betty Yemoko. Master of Philosophy, Parasitology, Ajay Kusi Prisla. Master of Philosophy, Reproductive Biology, Adafia Cynthia Akusika, Yakubu Tanimu. Master of Science, Environmental Science, Ajibain Benis Kunedu, Anto Linda Osei, Ayamdor Philemon Baba, Bruce Sylvia Araba, Dankwa Yaudo, Doche Edward Kujo, Jesse Eric, Kapuya Abdullahi, Kai Maufemo, Paliga Stephen, Antoine, Mensa Stephen, Paku MFA, Rue Henry Kobna Annan, Wood Abna Dufie, Faculty of Physical and Computational Sciences, Master of Philosophy, Environmental Chemistry, Goma Galileo Len, Master of Philosophy, Physical Chemistry, Mensa Mary Chuku Funaya, Master of Philosophy, Polymer Science and Technology, Abdul Kadir Shaban Sadatu, Aliu Sanda Mahamudu Jibrila, Master of Philosophy, Information Technology, Agwetano Province Ricardo Wachi Evans, Kwanza Daniel Kwame Kwanza, Master of Science, Information Technology, Abeka Emmanuel Nicholas, Ajechum Yabua, Anfu John Kwesi, Asabri Eunice Domfe, Ayete Perfect Aku, Wahin Edward Kwejo, Watin Sarah, Bensa Yao Asa, Nantoma Frederick Aminu Ufori Kofi, Master of Science, Health Informatics, Agbeto Doris Uhui, Ahulu Boas, and Gua Joshua. Master of Philosophy, Actuarial Science, Adu Grantin Patrick, Akolo Jason Sate, Dansu Eurama Adoma, Nambia Bright Maunyo. Master of Science, Actuarial Science, Apia Joseph, Kunedu Kweku, Ousu Bwachi Kojo Nyame. Master of Philosophy, Applied Mathematics, Jima Kennedy. Master of Philosophy, Mathematical Statistics, Wachi Ochri Portia, Jima Ezekiel Kofi. Master of Philosophy, Pure Mathematics, Ajikum Kwame Richmond, Asante Mensa Fred, Boche Linda Na Ajile, Guinan Kwedio Stefan, Usu Bempa Kwame. Master of Science, Applied Statistics, Akwalimak Mawena, Amankwa Benjamin, Ahin Redu Kingsley, Wahin Michael, Bobo Bridget Sena, Wamuno Kingsley, Butako Paul Kwame, Esel Nano Usumensa, Gidigan Pascal, Kume Rebecca, Ama Krama, Mensa Felix, Ochri Philip Kujo, Ousu Damianos Kufi, Ousu Kwame Achampon, Pencil Ellis Kobina, Tunu Simon, who knows, Yabua Daudi. Master of Science, Industrial Mathematics, Abel Awonya, Akwabwa Vincent, Akwabwa Menka Nana Kweku, Ifa Samson Kwame. Master of Philosophy, Geophysics, Agbo Nicholas Senyo, Siama Emmanuel, Ibrahim Lamini, Mayano Adumako Kufuor, Safu Charles Kwabena. Master of Philosophy, Nuclear Physics, Sebefia Celestine. Master of Philosophy, Solid State Physics, Paul Mark.
Master of Science, Project Management, Abambila Martha, Abbas Nantogma, Aqua Jan Seth, Adae Reta, Ado Theophilus, Ejaben Jonathan Kofi, Eje Mensa George, Edu Jemfi Zakaria, Ajenim Boateng Asebi Boache, Alupungu Edward, Amegache Gideon Selom, Amechichi Makafui, Amwa Frank, Amwa Michael Owuba, Amwakwata Kofi, Amwa Lawrence, Ano Gloria Ejubi, Apia Atabrobe Jr., Ahen Jemima, Aye Evans Quest, Asamoah Irene Boadu, Awariga Wewoli Amo Michael, Ayagle Mercy, Ayesu Opare, Bafo Ewa Robert, Baku Magdalene Selassie Aku, Bano Philip, Kobina Nana Ajemai, Kofi Emmanuel, Danso Joseph Jr., Danzel Jonathan, Diewo Dennis Bene, Jumo Boateng Johnson, Eserfi James, Frimpong Francis, Frimpong Fred, Fuseini Muftau Ibn, Gaikpasenanu Charles Agmete, Graham Rachel Grace, Kalu Rose, Kumoji Winfred, Lamte Ellis Lante, Mensa Enoch Yao, Mensa Osei Christopher, Mumuni Amukwando Abubakari, Nensen Alfred, Ofosu Hene Stephen Tewia, Okai Bonsu Bright, Ochrebuaten Wilson, Opon Frederick, Otia Kenten Akwesi, Otu Abigail Elikplim, Owusu Bempa Andrews, Oyete Ajade Kennedy, Pori Deme Eva, Kwesen Poli Enoch, Sapon Ataboite Senior, Tapsoba Idrisu, Taki Yunus Tewia, Tiena Terence Kumoye, Umar Ishak Ali, Yabua Jehu Patrick. Abebio Michael, Abdul Rahman Sumaila, Echampon Joseph Eja, Adalekwe Prosper, Adasi Ej Foster, Ejabin Janet, Ej Michael Pakwesi, Ej Mensa Alberta, Ajete Enoch Soa, Edu Raymond Ochre, Afena Albert Norman, Agama Fred Senam, Agbeme Frederick Newman, Agbemoji Johans Yao, Agbesi Selassie Augustina, Agbonu Daniel, Agboyi Vivian, Agbozo Wisdom Kwame. Agoche Linda Eyeram Afi. Ejapon Patrick, Eje Brobe Fred, Ajem Frimpong Ajekum, Ahiawaji Wisdom, Edu Elizabeth, Akotia Abigail Esime, Akpo Ayi Anthony, Alampa Charles, Alomene Gilbert Aseye, Amankwa Emmanuel, Amemakalo Emmanuel, Amwa James Kwabena, Amwako Felix Ejei, Amponsa Eric, Anefi Eunice Akuma. Andam Cheneboa Emmanuel, Ankoma Richard Kofi, Eni Isaac Newton, Enin Dominic Kizito Odro, and Sue Solomon, and Tieni Ama Mark, Adefio Edward Paul, Asante Bernard Boama, Esumi Antoinette Efriye, Atia Daniel, Atobra Aka Stephen, Awaji Raphael, Azuntaba Joseph, Beyao Michael, Bakta Catherine Jacqueline, Blankson Jane Per, Boateng Boache Ivan, Boateng David Osafo, Bonnie Richard Selom, Bonnie Samuel New Love, Brenya Alex, Budu Martin Esiao, Caleb Emmanuel Yao Etonam, Cobalt Kingsley, Kofi Louise Kwame, Daisy Donna Marie Stella, Daisy Harrison, Daisy Richard Douglas Kwesi, Dagadu Ni Ama, Date Evans, Diko Yaya Kweku Boateng, Donko Kwejo Boache, Dovi Raymond Kweku, Jojo G. Marcus Walanyo, Eshen Letitia Esi, Fab John Paul, Gal Judith Selassie, Gansen Anthony, Jemfi Dennis, Hackman Bridget, Hammond George Ama, Hayford Samuel Clark, Hodanu Bedi Yao Desmond, Inkum Kofi, Isa Adnan, Isaka Abdul Latif, Combien Samuel Fant, Kongwen Morinus, Hayford Balengie, Ponyo Regina, Kumavie Mauli, Kwame James, Kwaten Yao Ampofo, Kofi Dorothy Abrefi, Lamte Charles Lante, Lamte Ni Lante, Late Douglas, Markins Nana Ajwa, Mensa Delphine Dede, Nada Ethel Subab, Nketia Archibald Kwamena, Nomo Eric Tetechu, Norte Cecil Ni Norte, Nyamiche Emmanuel, Nyako Emilia Nyakwa, Nyako Melkia Anan, Obin Eunice Amwako, Obute Jeremy Odoy, Ofori Apia Martin, Ochre Nana Ama, Opon Kwabena Joseph, Osei Samuel, Osei Poku Kennedy, Osei Champon Kwajo, Owusu Sechere Frederick, Owusu Dankwa Yao Anson, Penyi Edward Kofi, Paul Nehemiah Kpabu, Saki Roland Emmanuel, Safo Roban Humphrey, Sechi Kwame Ejekum, Sefa Kwame Kwejo, Sefa Samuel Kwejo, Suleimana Kasim, Taki Dorcas Ann, Tenge Joyce, Chikpo Raymond, Chum Dampare Irene, Wilson Eko, Yaya Abdul Kafaru, Yamwa Harold Theophilus, Ziok Mauko Richard.
Thank you very much, Dean, School of Graduate Studies.
I believe it's in order to call for a loud round of applause to yourselves. You've done very well. You've acquired new knowledge, and we know you'll be stepping into the world to impart the rest of the world. With the permission of the Chancellor, I invite the Vice Chancellor, Professor Kwesi Obri Danso, to dispatch our fresh graduates. Would our fresh graduate please stand and remain standing, with the exception of the PhDs?
I guess after this, Eja Konumo will play his usual tune. The Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Kumasi, has trained and prepared you for service to humanity. Therefore, on this second day of February 2019, in the year of our Lord, we send you into the world to go and make a difference in society. As a sign of your graduation, please move the tassel from the right to the left. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Please remain standing. You have an obligation to the university when you step into the world. And you will do that through the activities of the alumni. So it's important for the alumni to swear you into the association. With the permission of the Chancellor once more, I invite the Global President of the Alumni Association of KNUST, supported by executive members, to swear our graduates into the Alumni Association.
Thank you, sir. Please repeat after me. I, graduate of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KNUST Kumasi, do hereby solemnly declare my membership in the KNUST Alumni Association and voluntarily pledge to abide by its aims and tenets. I pledge to dedicate my loyalty and commitment to the development of KNUST. And to the services of the KNUST Alumni Association, wherever and whenever needed. So help me God. Technocrats, Ayiko. And everybody goes there. Thank you.
Please resume your seat. it's very obvious you will be singing Additional louder than the rest anyway. Chancellor, with your permission, I'd want to acknowledge some members of the university and then invited guests. I would want to acknowledge the presence of the University Council, chaired by Nana Efa Appleton. I also want to acknowledge the presence of the former chairman of council, Professor Emeritus Kwame Sapon. And now the first female Pro-Vice Chancellor of KNUST, Professor Mrs. Rita Akosua Dixon. I introduce and acknowledge the presence of the Provost of College of Agric and Natural Resources, Professor Steve Emisa. Provost of the College of Health Sciences is Professor Yao Edusa Akodie. Provost of the College of Science, Professor Mrs. Ibokodro. Provost of the College of Art and Built Environment, Professor Joshua Ayakwa. Provost of the College of Engineering, Professor Makaduma Samoa. Dean of the School of Graduate Studies, Professor Nicholas Chebafo. Director of the IDL, Professor K.O. Boatin. Of course, the Vice Chancellor, Registrar have been here and introduced already. Registrar in charge of academics KNUST is Mrs. Margaret Gisi. And then Registrar for the School of Graduate Studies, Mr. Matthew Okra. Our Protestant chaplain is Reverend Dr. J.W. Echampong. Catholic chaplain is Reverend Father Dr. Peter Ade Mensah. And now to our invited guests. I would want to acknowledge the presence of the Minister of State in charge of tertiary education, Professor Kwesi Yanka. In our midst this morning is the Ashanti Regional Minister, Honorable Simon Mensah. The Vice Chancellor of UPSA joined us this morning. That's the University of Professional Studies, Accra. Professor Abednego Oko Amate. Registrar of UPSA accompanied him. He is Dr. Seydou Mustafa. Finance Officer of the same university, Reverend Kweku Entry. Registrar for the University of Energy and Natural Resources, he was one of us until recently, Mr. Solomon Pamford. I want to acknowledge the presence of the MCE of Ofori Krom, in whose territory we are, also was one of us, Miss Gloria Gambra. I acknowledge the presence of Nananom and each and everyone who came around. We are grateful for your presence. I respectfully now invite the Chancellor to dissolve the Assembly.
Before I dissolve the assembly, I wish to suggest to Ajako Nimo to also make a song for teachers also. At this year, and the teacher for also child, they are almost so break a crack. Ajako Nimo, I beg of you to give me a song in their favor next time when I come. So that whilst the students are saying at this year, teacher for also a child, they are so break papa. By the powers conferred on me as the Chancellor of the University, I, Otumfo Setu to the Second Asantehene, declare this assembly duly dissolved. Thank you very much.
Can we please have the closing prayer by Reverend Father Dr. Peter Demensa?
Shall we rise for the closing prayer? Lord God, you have always been good and gracious to us. We began this program in your name. You have been with us. You have seen us through it successfully. We want to thank you and praise you. We thank you for the lives of these, your sons and daughters who have graduated today. We continue to pray for them. May they always be good ambassadors of these great and noble universities. May they always propagate the vision and the mission of our founding fathers in establishing this university. We pray that as they go forth, they will impart society with the knowledge, expertise that they have acquired. We pray for all those who sponsor them, their benefactors, their benefactresses. Continue to bless the work of their hands. Replenish the resources they use in forming and in training these, your sons and daughters. For their supervisors, their tutors, their lecturers, we pray that you continue to bless them so that they will have the resources, the energy, the expertise to continue to form hearts and minds for service of this country and the world at large. As we live here, we place ourselves into your hands. Be with us all. Grant all of us safe, sound return journeys. Protect us from the evil one. And may your face go before us and grant us your peace now and forever. This and many more we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Please remain standing for the reception of the Chancellor and members of convocation. PhD graduates will pick their certificates at the exams office, Kesley Hayford building, and then master's graduates will pick your certificates at the School of Graduate Studies. Please take note. There will be Thanksgiving service tomorrow at 9 a.m. right here in the Great Hall. Please do well to be present. Refreshment for members of convocation will be at the Senior Staff Clubhouse. And refreshments for students will be catered for by your parents, your husbands, wives. Well, it's simply because you are above the free school feeding program.